Right. Hey.
お願いします。
お願いします。You got this. So. Good. Get up and down. Hey, side to side. Hey, hip to shoulders. Hey, circles one way. Circles the other way. Put your arms going forward. And arms going back. Okay, stretching one side. Stretch the other side. Crossing one side. Cross the other side. Open and close. Hey, lower your hips, engage your core muscles. Aisawaki. Hey, and tight. Ryoho. Tenchi. Yoko. Hey, Iboki, Ki. Ko. Ki. Ko. Thank you. Ko. Hey, hands up. And forward. Down. Hey, your knees from the back. Circles one way. Circles the other way. Wait. Down. 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 Up. Down. Hey, your hips. Side. 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 One side. One side. One side. Side. One side. And the other side. Hey. Your feet in front and your knees up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good side. And 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And inside your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You go. And hinges. Hinges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Toes and your ankles together, coming down. Coming up. Coming down. Coming up. Down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Q. Go. One more. Q. Go. So, open your legs and side to side. Side to side, side to side. Okay, a bit lower on one side. And the other side. One side, toes up. The other side, toes up. One side, hands in front. The other side, hands in front. One side, knee down. And open up. Try to keep your chest out. And the other side. Put your hands, knee down, sit and open up, chest out. Hey, opening your legs, elbows down. Going forward. Back. Hey, going forward. And hips up. Hey, walking backwards. Hey, hands up. Open to one side. Open to the other side. Hands down, walking forward, hips down, and hips back. And hips forward, hips up, walking backwards, hands up, one side, the other side. Hands down and forward. Hips down. Back. Forward. Hips up. Walking back. Hands up. One side. And the other side. And down. And forward. And hips back. Hey, 体を。よいしょ。よいしょ。Side. So. Inside. Outside. Q. Go. 2、9。5。3、9。5。よいしょ。Hey, hands up, hands down, hips up, in position for dynamic sun salutations. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, jumping in. Deep squats. 1, 2, 3. Keep your head up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down and on your back. Legs up, hands up. Leg box. Opposite sides first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same side now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sitting down and Ushiro Kemi. 1, all the way up to your knee if you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standing up. Tai Sabaki. Let's start with Tai Sabaki number 1. Front hand is going to cut down and step turn. And front hand cuts down, step turn. Front hand cuts down while we step turn Front hand cuts down, but we step, turn, okay, lower level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. So, all right. So that's sequence 1. All right, let's do it again. All right. Okay, here we go again. And up. And ready for 10 salutations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down. Cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up. Yoko Kemi. So, Yoko Kemi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standing up. Sabaki. This time extending and turning, extending or powering and turning. So now you're going to be your backhand. Backhand extends and passes. Backhand extends and passes. So second level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's so. Okay, in the position again. Some salutations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, jumping in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up. So, same for ukemi. Just remember, you same for ukemi, make sure to finish on one knee, pivot, and extend your leg. Try to not finish in both knees, just get that habit up. So, one knee, pivot, and extend your back leg. Okay? So, one knee, pivot, extend back. 2, down, pivot, extend back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standing up. That is Sabaki. This time, one hand in front, one behind. Pay attention to be able to consciously put one hand behind and conscious of what's happening here on that big hand behind, okay? One in front, one behind. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arrows. 4. All right, and again, down. And patience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up. This time, Yoko Kemi, but stopping in 90 degrees. Okay? So from your knees, Yoko Kemi, going perpendicular to the point of entry. So this is your point of entry, and you're going to end up obviously perpendicular because you are in a Yoko Kemi form. So traditionally the movement continues. Okay? So you're going to end up here, perpendicular, holding at 90 degrees, coming back the same direction. Okay? And 1, back, and 2, back, and 3, back, 4, back, 5, back, 6, back, 7, back, 8, back, 9, back, 10, back, change side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up. Now Ryokotenkan with independent arms. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So arms moving independently. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, all right. Your last set. Hey, so open your legs, hands down, and salutations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's time. This time we want to do simple kemi, okay, but not completely new kemi, but in the case when we are held to in the ground. So we're going to go here, 1, and we're going to turn towards the opposite side and do the other side, and 2, okay. So on that side, we're going to turn towards the extended leg side and do it again, okay. So extend one arm, extend one leg for, it's a little bit of a end up of a break fall situation where you just land on it, okay. So, and 1, turn, 2, turn, 3, turn, 4, turn, 5, turn, 6, turn, 7, turn, 8, turn, 9, turn, 10, turn. Standing up, last one, Ryokotenkan. 2 hands at the same time, up and down, using your spine, using your hips. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3. And rest. All right. Good. That's the warm-up. Just run out of time with the warm-up. Okay, so on the weekend, just to recap a little bit, on the weekend we had, again, this may be bias, and this is an element of confirmation bias if you want, or just understanding what is accessible to us, but you have to forgive me if that's the case. If you remember something different from the weekend, it's very important that you also process that. But so basically on the weekends, I summarized in the last class that I thought one important message that each of the 3 previous teachers have given were very important elements of the way in which we express our technique, right? On the first class with Drogström Han, he mentioned, elements about, basically we could summarize it as breaking someone's balance, because once we break someone's balance, then what proceeds afterwards, which is the final application of the technique, it's more efficient to the point of almost looking effortless. But again, there's a lot of effort or knowledge and technique in breaking balance. And then the conclusion of the technique, if that section of the process was correct, then it looks effortless because you're applying on an individual, on a structure that has no balance. So in that sense, it's hard to understand when we are practicing on our own. Possibly the best way to understand balance is kind of to understand our own structure. So typically in a hand position, okay. Yeah. So in a hand position, right. So we have a position that it is reasonably stable on the front and on the back of this line, because we have this leg for support and we have this leg for support. So if we kind of tank our body and someone comes and pushes, that's kind of, this structure is possibly the structure that is going to help the most with resisting that push, because our structure serves the front and serves the back. Now, what this structure obviously fails to support is a hyperextension on the front of my body or an extension on the back of my body. Now, those 2 basic directions, the front of my body and the back of my body, I think that we're very familiar with what happens when we go to the back. Here's a classic thing: when you show menuchi and then someone moves into iriminage and then they take you into that direction. So, this direction, and that direction are solid because the front leg and the back leg. The front of the body in this direction and the back of the body in that direction is where we could create kuzushi in a more readily way, because there is no points of support. The thing that it is also a bit of a chess game is that if our partners succeeds in raising our hips, then basically they have uprooted us. That's another concept that we're going to talk in a minute when David Hall Sensei mentioned the concept of the tree. But effectively what happens, let's say in Kokyu Ho, okay, or in many Kokyu Nages, is not so much that the partner pushes in a particular direction, is that the partner uproots us. And then once our hip is up and uprooted, then almost any direction is available once that happens. So if anything, it's a very important thing to try to keep exploring. How can I uproot this person? How can I move this person upwards? Because once that center is upwards, then pretty much any direction is now available, right? So anyway, so for kuzushi, okay, understand your basic hanmi, how a push directly on this line is going to be not effective because they have support, but an attempt to entry on that corner or on this corner is very important. Moreno Sensei, for example, would say with Chomenuchi Iriminage, he would say, once we enter here, that's why he favors so much Okuriashi, because he says, now this back, hand like that, is what I'm basically going to go and explode in order to do my technique, right? So once we pass, okay, then to here, behind, basically this line, straight line, is what Okuriashi, or Yoko Okuriashi in that case, kind of try to exercise. So here, and then boom, down, and move forward. Okay, so the idea is kuzushi, or breaking person's balance. the best way to understand a person's balance is to understand your own structure. Where is your structure weak when you are kind of moving yourself? What's that game? There's a little game. What's that game that sometimes plays in parties where people put little dots and then you can Twister, you know? So there is, you know, if you have a Twister, there is a set structure, and then there are certain positions that are funny and almost impossible because they go against that set structure. If I'm here and the next Twister is there, then that's an easy thing. But if I'm here and the next thing where I have to put my hand is there, then that's going to start to kind of compromise my structure and make it funny. So that's just the way that the body, the limited set of motions of the body. So number one was breaking balance. Number two, with Tammy Sensei, we spoke about connection, you know, and she talks about stickiness. It's very important that we mentioned this during the week. There is the stickiness and the connection at the physical level, but I think what she was more after was the connection and the stickiness at the intentional level, right? So that's why at some point the connection, the physical connection disappears. You know, you have to take the kemi, but the intentional connection remains. So that's why her whole point of, you know, people finishing in this particular ukemi that they do, you know, but continuing keeping your eyes on. Even if you take the full ukemi that we do, which is the full, the idea is to turn around and keep your intention connected as much as possible with your partner. So the idea of connection or stickiness, you know, which Tammy mentioned so much. And again, in terms, especially in the terms of ukemi, try to don't worry. You know, the important thing about ukemi is to remain connected, but also know when to let go. It is not, you know, connection at all costs, physical connection at all costs in all moments. The responsibility of ukemi is to know, you know, how to remain connected, but also when and in what time to let go. Now, the fact that physically we let go at all doesn't mean that intentionally we let go. And I think that that's part of what we have to struggle. I think sometimes when people let go physically, you know, then the intention also lets go. And you can feel that. And that's the habit that we must train. You know, say, how can I let go physically, but remain intentionally? Okay, so that's, anyway, so that exercise happens all the time. So when you another typical way that you can practice and educate that habit is the use of your weapons. You know, when you pick up your weapon and you have your weapon and it's very clear, you know, you have a piece of wood that is extending all the way to a particular point, and you are clear of that point. You know, if I have here and I touch that wall, I can feel the wall through the jaw. I say, yeah, that's the wall. Yeah, that's the jaw. That's fine. So my intention is clearly on the wall because I have a medium to connect to the wall. Now, the difficult thing is when I take the medium away, my intention of that point can completely disappear, right? So the practice is, how can I maintain connection, establish a connection that is physical, which is correct, I feel in the wall there, but then when that bridge, which is the jaw, disappears, me keeping that awareness and connection of the same point with a similar level of intensity. So that is an important exercise that can be practiced, should be practiced all the time. Ukemi should have that quality, weapon work should have that quality, and obviously our basic taijutsu in the middle should have that quality. And then the last thing was the idea of the tree that David Hall Sensei mentioned. Okay, and again for us, that's like a Tai Sabaki. So that's why if you have time, this is why something Moreno Sensei, remember, the only exercise that Moreno Sensei does rigorously every day apart from Aikido is sit-ups. You know, sit-ups. You know, that is an element for him to protect his back. But you know, at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's providing him a very solid trunk. You know, he's working a lot. So if you have 5 minutes any day to do stuff, sure, you know, push-ups or dynamic salutations are good for the upper body. Squats are really good to keep the lower body joints, you know, mobile and, you know, just in check. But anything to do with core exercises should be like a bread and butter of everyday activity. So so just to finish with that idea of that, so we can finish with Kokyu Dosa, but the idea of the trunk. So imagine your feet nicely planted in the ground. You know, all that push through the ground, feel that push coming to your body and engage in your core muscles, okay? From that part, now your arms, side to side, a little bit like what David Hall Sensei said. The hands are like branches, you know? So they don't really have, you know, they have a very minimal structure of their own. They move, they move, they move. But be conscious of the roots on your feet, engage your core muscles, feel the strength of your core, okay? And then move those arms with a little bit more freedom. Now one direction, the other direction. One direction, the other direction. And Tenchi, all the way up, all the way down. Same feeling. Stay strong on the lower body. Stay strong on the core. Stay relaxed on the upper body. So. You know. So anyway, so that feeling and that sensation is a nice sensation. We just need to remember that. So the strength of the tree comes from the roots, from the trunk, and even the branches. Though as you know, any eucalyptus branch, you know, that is around the house is not meaningless in terms of weight. It carries a weight of its own. So it's not the whole tree weight, but it carries a weight of its own. So there's still an element of carrying weight. The problem that we have sometimes with Aikido is that we see the suppleness and the effortlessness of the branches, and then we think that the lower body and the core should also be equally flopped. So while there is a lot of, you know, relaxation on the upper body, there is a lot of work and a lot of tension, a lot of work in the medium and in the lower body. But we cannot see that. What we mostly see is the relaxation of the upper body. And then we forget everything that is going underneath, pretty much like in a branch situation. So anyway, so try to keep an eye in your practice in the next few days and weeks and months of those three elements of breaking, balance, and understanding person's structure, maintaining connection, especially intentional. That's a very difficult thing in a class because our mind wanders, you know, in the class. It's almost like a meditation, long session. How can I maintain my intention and my focus connected on something? And finally, lower body, core, lower body, core, lower body, core. You know, they must be all the time really strongly engaged. And whatever happens with the upper body, that's fine. Okay? Ready? Hey!
どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。